Should
Yeah.
we do the thing?
Yeah, let's do the thing. Let's talk. What is the subject again? I totally forgot.
We'll introduce it. Hello and welcome to Green Fruit Gaming. Today I am here with the wonderful JanejiraDraws. You can see her on Twitch and other places that she is. All the links included in the video description. Yeah, so you want to introduce yourself and say some things?
Yeah, I guess. Follow me on Twitch at Fluid Strawberry. Maybe one or two times a year I stream something. I don't know. We'll see how 2023 goes. I plan on actually streaming, but usually when I say I'll do something, I do it 2 years later. So
Yeah, I always say I'm planning on doing stuff, especially streaming, and I just kind of don't. So yeah.
yeah, welcome to the Honesty Squad. That's us. We'll tell you how it is. We won't give you tune in next Tuesday for whatever.
Motivated but out
Nah.
of practice. Today's video topic is the Nintendo Switch and how the heck it is going to stand up to the competition that it now has. Because, before, its only competition was really the PlayStation Portable, the PSP, the PS Vita, PSP Go. Like, Nintendo hasn't really had a lot of competition in the portable atmosphere, not since really, the Sega Game Gear. That was, the first big thing that they had to go up against. There was also, the Atari Lynx. But now, those are gone. Everyone else is gone. And we are seeing Steam enter the competition with the Steamdeck, and then Neo has their platform, the Neo Air, and all of that stuff. Even VR companies like Pimax, which are famous for the Pimax 8K, VR headsets, super, super high-end VR headsets, and for whatever reason, they want to make a portable Switch-like device for emulation, stuff like that. You also have, the animatic, actual emulators, but, in a space where portable PCs are, where you have a full gaming computer that's about the size of a Nintendo Switch, I just think it doesn't make sense for Nintendo to still really exist in that space if they aren't going to build on what they have. They need to show us a revision and tell us what the plan is going into the future, because if we're only halfway through this generation with the Switch, it's already been out for 5 years. What's the plan, guys?
And then they have the Switch OLED where it's like, hey guys, it's slightly bigger.
Yeah,
Woohoo! It's like when a new iPhone comes out. Hey guys, the camera's better. That's all. That's the only difference.
A lot of people thought the OLED it was actually meant to be the Switch Pro, but because of COVID and the chip shortage, that they couldn't actually make them, so they just kind of tossed it out there with an original Switch inside. But yeah, no, I mean I like my OLED. I think it's a fine upgrade, but the issue is at the end of the day it is still just a Switch, and when you plug it into the TV it is wildly apparent that it is just a Switch. In handheld mode, yeah, it's wonderful, it's fantastic, it looks great, games are scaled to that screen. It can't really be counted as a home console, and at this point in time, the games that are being ported to it, third-party games, big ones, Doom Eternal, it's a bad example, it came out a while ago, but Hogwarts Legacy, that has been delayed, and it's because the Switch is being lumped in there with the last generation consoles, right? I just feel like Nintendo needs to be telling people what exactly their plan is going forward, because right now it seems like they want the Switch to be as it is and that just be okay, because I don't know. It seems like before Nintendo they had their main home console, then they had the 3DS or the Game Boy or whatever. Here they try to tuck it both into the same thing. It's the Switch, it's portable, it's on the TV, but it's not necessarily the best at being either one.
It's right in the middle.
You have a Switch. You recently got a 3DS.
What
do you think of Nintendo?
A 3DS after all these years.
And you got the original one, didn't you?
I think so. I cannot tell the things apart. That's your department. I'm just here to play cute games that I missed out on when I was younger because I didn't have money, because you don't have a job when you're 13. And if you do, I'm worried. That should not be legal, I feel like. But anyway.
Yeah, if you have a job when you're 13, it's probably not a legitimate job.
No, that's probably really sketchy. Oh, so cute. We love cats here. I don't have any cats, but I got a strawberry cow, so that's my cute animal of the day.
Cute animals, always.
Yes.
What do you want?
But yes, for people in my life that don't know, I recently got a regular full size Switch so that I can hook it up to the TV solely for streaming purposes and because I wanted another Animal Crossing island because I have an addiction. Um, I just like that I can see the nice things on the TV, but also when the power went out and the Switch was still going and we were playing Animal Crossing, that made me very happy. So I like that that is the thing that separates Nintendo Switch from everything else. Because you know, if you're playing on your PS5 and the power goes out, sucks for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the PS5 crashing is honestly more of a problem than the power going out. Like every single
Yeah.
game that I've gotten on launch, it's had like horrible crashing. Like the Xbox never crashes on me. The PS5 crashes all the freaking time. Like it's ridiculous. But yeah, no, like the Switch, it does definitely shine in that area. But like that's kind of what I'm saying here is with the Steam Deck type devices that are coming out, that's, it's applying to, obviously laptops, those are a thing, and that's essentially what these are. They're just laptops without keyboards. They just have controllers strapped to the sides of them. But like in a space where those are existing and they are kind of gaining in popularity, do you think Nintendo's first party lineup is really enough to separate them from the crowd? You mentioned Animal Crossing, and that is, I think, actually a really, really good example. Animal Crossing is a huge system seller. When Animal Crossing New Horizons came out, especially like right at the beginning of everything starting to shut down, everyone needed that escape. A lot of people flocked to the Switch, and they flocked to that game in particular. Personally, my favorite Animal Crossing is New Leaf on the 3DS. I recently started getting back into that and realizing why I had to put it down. I remember walking into GameStop with that game saying, so I have a problem and I need to get rid of this. And
Yeah.
selling my copy of Animal Crossing because like I was scheduling my entire life around that game. Like even just as a kid, like I had plans around like what time stores were going to be open and like what villagers were awake. Like Animal Crossing is definitely one of those things, and that's something that Nintendo really does a good job at, is having those first party games and that exclusivity. But like, do you really think that's enough to make people choose a Switch over just Steam? Really? Because Steam, you have millions and millions of games. Like already, I mean, probably not that many, but like you have a good chunky selection from several years, going back. Not to mention other launchers like GOG Galaxy, which good old games, a lot of retro games on there. Like, does Nintendo have any chance, like with the Switch as it is, up against that? Do you think?
I think the thing is we have to take into account quality versus quantity, and also the fact that like humans when they're faced with like too many things, they get overwhelmed and can't make a decision. So I think if Steam is going to fall flat somewhere, that's going to be the department of too many choices. And then the question is like, are all the choices as good as one copy of Animal Crossing? Because Animal Crossing held up so good for
Yeah.
so long. They kept it going since like the GameCube days, and they purposely released
Nintendo
it
64.
slowly. Mm-hmm. They released it slowly and steadily so that like the employees could freaking rest and so that the quality would be great so that they don't release something and it's all buggy looking at you, Cyberpunk.
Hey now,
Um
don't be all right. It got Game of the Year for Labor of Love. All right, Steam gave it its comeuppance, what it deserves.
yeah.
You're
But
talking to
like every
someone who
single
owns
person I
four
talk to,
copies of it.
yeah, everyone I've talked about Cyberpunk, they're like, "Yeah, I got it when it first came out, and it was so glitchy." And it's like,
I got it when it
and
first came
then,
out, and I had an amazing time.
yeah, you're the
I
exception,
I'm the
bro.
only person who just accepted it for what it was and enjoyed
Yeah.
myself.
But everybody else who got like, Animal Crossing, like the glitches have been great though, because there was one glitch where like you stood in the water and everyone was like, "Lol, look how funny this is," or like you could plant the stars in the trees and everyone was like, "Look at my aesthetic," and then they took it away because we were bragging too much. But like, I mean, to be fair, like those glitches aren't really problems. They're just like
it
aesthetic additions that accidentally happened.
Yeah, and like with Animal Crossing, it's one of those things where like it is organized to a point where yeah, you can have stars and trees. That's like a weird thing that looks cute. Like, it kind
Yeah.
of makes sense to a degree. And, with Cyberpunk, I am actually glad you bring that up because, like, a huge issue these days is definitely optimization. We saw that with new Pokemon games that came out with Scarlet and Violet, and how they were not very good at launch, and like they still don't really look very good. One of the arguments I make for consoles all the time over PC, and that is also part of this argument, is optimization. Is that on PC you might be getting games that you can't actually play. I know there are games in my library that my PC can't handle. There are games that I have never played but I've owned for years that I just can't play because this thing can't do it. Whereas the Switch, anything that's released on it obviously can play, and that goes for everything else as well. Games come out and are meant to be played on them, whereas a PC, like, you might have something that you can't. And with these handheld PCs like the Steam Deck and the INEO and all of that, optimization is going to be a major thing, like a huge pitfall, I think, for them. Because the Steam Deck, it has SteamOS, which I think it's built on Linux. And when you look at Steam now, you'll see a little tag that says Steam Deck certified, something like that, basically saying this is a game that like has gone through a few checks, and people are saying, yeah, no, this runs well on the Steam Deck. And that the Steam Deck does sort of has its own library of games where that, like, these are the games that run well on it. You have other options, but these are the games that they really want you to be playing on it because these are the ones that are going to be performing the best. Do you think, like, I don't know, would you like to see more like graphics options in console games? Because we were seeing that on the Series X and the PS5 where you're able to kind of turn medium, high, low settings, but with the Switch, like, it is just kind of what it is, and I think there are a lot of cases where you could probably dial back the graphics a little bit to make it a little bit better, or maybe dial back something else that's going on, like a texture or something like that, to make it a little bit better. Because I don't know, I feel like there's the problems with the Switch, I feel, are certainly fixable, but a lot of those fixes have to do with just having better hardware to do it with.
Yeah, I mean, also, like, as a video editor and a streamer, being able to, like, mess with the graphics and stuff would be very helpful because some ways of capturing video, like, you want 4K, that sucks for you. Or if you want to turn something up, or like if you're one of those Animal Crossing players who has an island so decorated that it just can't load, maybe it would benefit if you could just turn it down for a second so you can see what's going on. But I think it just makes sense to have graphic options for everything, for in consideration for the content creators. Also, like, some people just can't afford new computers to play the new games, and obviously businesses are not going to keep that in mind when creating games because nobody cares about that in the business world.
Yeah, like, optimization, it's good and all, but it only gets you so far when it comes to a personal experience. Like, it's nice to fine tune things yourself. And yeah, it's weird that that's something that's so recent. Like, games in the past, like on console, they haven't really had too many of those like actual graphic options where like you can turn down certain effects like particles and stuff like that. On PC, obviously, we've always had that option. And
Yeah,
like,
for the sake of your computer's survival, you kind of need it.
like, I wish I was making like a checklist here, because like there are definitely a lot of pros and cons to like either way, where like you have the Switch, you have optimization, like out of the box, it's already guaranteed to work. However, you can't do anything to improve how well it works. Whereas on PC, you can modify the file and make it however you want it to. However you want it to be. And then also, the game libraries, that's the thing. Whereas, the Switch, honestly, there's not that good of a selection on the Switch aside from the first party games. Like, a lot of the third party titles, like if you look through the eShop, a lot of those games are on Steam and are like constant 50-cent Steam sale games. Like, not exactly the best games on Steam is what I'm saying. All right, so I'm going to pose the question to you. If you were to choose between, like, right now, not having a Switch, if you didn't have one, would you choose between a Switch and a Steam Deck, or a Steam Deck? Like, would you rather have a full, like, I mean, you have a laptop, so this isn't really a concern for you, but would you like to have like a full gaming PC that's, you know, about the size of the Switch, or would you just have a Switch?
I think for just my lifestyle personally, a Switch would be better because I am a nighttime person, and because I live with somebody else, I can't just go downstairs at 2 a.m., fire up my PC, turn on my heater, and just like get cozy. That just causes problems. So it makes sense to have a small portable device that I can just like lay down in my bed in and just get cozy and lose 50,000 hours and not have to like break my neck sitting in a computer chair for hours. Also, I can like take it places and take it to my friends' places so that we can all play together. And it's more, it depends on like your lifestyle. Like if you're not going anywhere, you live alone, you're not doing anything, PC just makes sense because you can be cozy and it's nice. But if you're like traveling all the time and you're never home, maybe the PC is not the best option unless you're trying to game less.
But I mean, the thing here is like the Steam Deck. It's yeah, it's a PC, but it is essentially a Switch. Like the portability factor. Would you rather have like a Nintendo console, like a console where things are just immediately optimized, or do you want to have the freedom of a portable PC in that form factor?
Mm.
Because like you said that you don't want to like go downstairs and turn on the computer and like make a bunch of noise with, you know, the Steam Deck and I, you know, and you know, stuff like that. Yeah, obviously that's not really a problem. You just have it in the bathroom if you want.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
I
games
mean,
you're
I
playing in the
think
bathroom, but you know.
right. I mean,
You,
the more optimized it is, the better. Because like I think the most consistent thing about all the portable Nintendo consoles is like you turn them on, you're done. That's it. There it is. There's a cute little graphic for like a second, and then
yeah.
you're ready to go. Um, what else has done that? Like, how do you compete with that?
Yeah, I mean, you saying the cute little graphic thing makes me think of, you know, turning on a Game Boy and it says Game Boy and then you're straight into the game. It is
Yeah.
nice to just kind of like turn it on and already be where you want to be. Whereas, you know, on
Yeah,
PC, you
because
gotta
like,
turn it on, you gotta figure out your launchers where you want to do stuff.
hmm
You have to wait for things to update
and
because
then
there
turning on
seems
the
to be updates every
PS4,
single
like it
day.
takes forever. Like it's loading, and then your menu, and then your games, and then you pick your games, and then you have to wait for your games to load, and it's like, oh my god, the worst.
Yeah, yeah, it's I I always get lost in the menus. Like the Switch is so streamlined. Like the only
No.
things that you're looking at are the things that you own and are ready to go. Whereas on
Yeah,
the
and then everything
PlayStation
else
is
is
like
on
I'm
the
seeing
side.
yeah, yeah. It's like whereas on other things like I'm seeing ads all over the place. It's trying to sell me all of these things. It's like I just want to turn it on, see the first thing on there, be what I want to be doing, press A and be doing it, you know?
Yeah, like you
Like I don't
just
want
want to
to
get to your games. That's all we want.
I don't know. I wish Nintendo would just put out like a more powerful Switch. Like I do like it as it is for what it is, but I can't really say that for me personally, if I didn't have a Switch, that I would choose to get a Switch over something like a Steam Deck.
Yeah,
Because, you
that's
know, I
fair.
love my PC, but like you said, it takes a while to turn on. And I would just like something that's a bit more streamlined and especially, you know, something I can take with me.
Yeah. And
Like when
then one thing I don't like about the Switch is just like the lack of storage is pissing me off so
yeah.
much. That's where the PC wins because it's like, oh, you want more storage or whatever? Here you go. Oh, you want a PC for nothing but games? Problem solved. You got games for years. Whereas the Switch, it's like, hey, you want to buy some more micro SD cards because that's your
Yeah.
only option.
Well, I mean, storage, that's definitely like something that's up there because so with PCs, you know, you can get a new hard drive and they're fairly cheap. Like depending on what kind of hard drive you want to get, they can be pretty cheap. But the Switch, your only option for expandable storage, and you know, this is also the same case on these other console, the portable PC things. Uh, SD cards only get so big. It was only recently that they put out 1 terabyte SD cards, and those aren't, from what I've heard, super reliable. So it's like I don't know if I'd want a 1 terabyte SD card. I think I would rather just have an NVMe slot on the Switch. You know, it's like let me put like a full size hard drive on that thing and good to go.
Yeah, honestly, like I miss the memory cards for the PS2 because like just stock up on those for like $3 each or whatever,
Have a
and
little bin full of them.
yeah, problem solved. You can have all the storage forever, and it's not like internally in my PS2. It's just like I take it out, put in another memory card. It's a different set of problems. Like,
I mean, also like games these days, the whole thing needs to be installed. Like on the Switch, yeah, a lot of the time it's on the game card. You just pop it in there, it's good to go. A lot of people these days they're moving to digital games. I've built up a small digital catalog on the Switch just because I like being able to not have to switch out the cartridge. Because on a like PS5 and the Xbox, I don't mind putting the disc in and out. But with the cartridges, I have to take the Switch out of the dock. I got to open the little flap. I got to take the cartridge out, find where it goes, put the next cartridge in there.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as seamless of an experience as I would like it to be. And if any of my consoles would be digital only, I would want it to be my Switch. But, like, that storage, that's definitely an issue. And like with the hard drive stuff, like you have to be able to install the entire game on there because not every developer wants to stick their game on that cartridge because they only come in like a few different sizes.
Mm-hmm. I think the most common theme that's just been happening throughout this whole conversation is we want a device that provides as little steps as possible, as much convenience as possible, as less bulky clutter. Because like having to store all of your memory cards when you have ADHD is a nightmare. I recently just found my memory card. It was on a different part of the floor that I forgot existed. Like,
I've seen your room, so that's easy to do.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, it just disappears. So that external storage is annoying, but external storage is less annoying than running out of like a tiny amount of built-in storage. So it's like you have to pick one of those. There's no happy, cool, awesome, perfect medium yet. Maybe someday.
I think at the end of the day, what it really comes down to is like what is going to happen. I think like this isn't even a might happen. This is just what is going to happen. I think Nintendo is going to eventually start putting their games on PC like PlayStation is doing, like Xbox is doing. I think they're going to start putting their games on the PC, or at least making them more accessible to like other platforms, and kind of letting them take the reins. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if in the next 5 years Nintendo did become a third-party developer.
Yeah, I mean,
like, it's
I feel
sad,
like that would be
like,
a good idea. Because, like, they can get more money that way. 2, I'm just excited about the idea of Animal Crossing on PC. Can you imagine?
Oh, the mods.
That's the best part.
People would like mod Minecraft houses into Animal Crossing just for the aesthetic of it.
Honestly, I would not mind seeing that. That could potentially be really cool. Because I mean, it's the same mechanic. You build things with squares.
Actually, that would be kind of cool to see, like Animal Crossing Minecraft. It's almost definitely a thing.
Oh my god! Imagine you're like walking through your Minecraft land, and then you see like a slightly more boxy villager, and then you can just finally hit him with an axe. Because some of them, we all have our villagers that we hate and would want to hit with an axe.
I've been trying to get Ed off of my island for like he moved in. I saw him. I'm like, go.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
I've complained about him. I've been mean to him. Just like he won't go.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, you're mean to me. Let me just stay out of spite."
All right, so if I'm remembering everything correctly from this conversation so far, we want the Switch, but we want it to be better, and we want more accessibility options.
Yes.
And we want to kill animals.
Yeah. Ethically. As long as they're anthropomorphic, it's okay. Yeah. If they're animal villagers in a different world, in a Minecraft vibe, it is okay to absolutely kill them.
I just realized Happy Tree Friends really filled that void for people, didn't it?
But to go back to our main topic, though,
Which
um,
was,
something about consoles. I don't know.
yeah.
You know what? A question for the audience: how would you describe the perfect console, and what can companies do to get there?
Yeah. I don't even remember what the topic necessarily was.
Something about consoles. Also, another topic that I would like to say as an artist on the topic of consoles: make them come in pink, please. That's all I want. Okay.
You just want more pink consoles?
Yeah. Because, like, I can't find a Switch that comes in pink. The only colors are the frickin' red and blue, which I personally don't even like.
Yeah,
And then white. I mean, I like the white because that means I can just paint over it myself. But if I went online and was like, pink Switch, they're like, oh, do you mean Joy-Cons that cost a lot of money?
Well, there's...
Do you mean Joy-Cons by artists that...
The Switch Lite is pink, isn't it?
Like, you know, Nintendo... It is, but like, I want a big, pretty pink Switch with like cute little cherry blossoms on it, or something like cute, or something metallic. Cause like, did you showed in like one of the group chats, like the PS4 or whatever? Like, there's a special pink
PS2.
one.
The PS2 has a pink one.
Yeah.
And it looks really, really nice. You know
the
what would
DS
actually
comes
be really
in
cool?
pink. The Game Boy comes in pink.
It would be really cool. So with the Switch, you know, it is just like a standard black, you know, whatever it is. The Animal Crossing one has some like kind of engraving on the back. So does the Pokemon one, and I think the Monster Hunter or the Smash Bros. One does as well. What I would like to see, like, I don't mind that part of the console just being black. You know, it's whatever. It's standard color. I would like to see them put out packs that have the dock and Joy-Cons that are like color matching. Like put out a pink dock and pink Joy-Cons. Put out like say maybe a special edition docks where you don't necessarily want another Switch, but you want that special edition dock. Put that out with the Joy-Cons for that console. Like, it'd be nice if Nintendo offered more customization. For a console where you can literally switch the parts out on the fly, you'd think they'd have more parts available.
Right. But I mean, I understand as a business, like, why they would do that, because, you know, they give you the ugly colors so that you can go back to the store and be like, give me that cute shit, okay? And then spend, like, what, $60? Yeah, exactly.
I'm honestly really surprised my Joy-Cons have lasted as long as they have. Like, my old Switch, it wasn't long at all. Like, I'd never used the Joy-Cons on my old Switch. I never used it handheld. I gave it to my little brother. Very short time period, starts drifting. I'm like, okay, he needs new Joy-Cons. These things really don't last that long after all. But playing the Switch OLED, like, because I have been using it in handheld mode more often, I'm noticing, like, the Joy-Cons, they're all right. Like, on their own, they're all right controllers. I'm surprised that mine haven't broken. Yeah. It seems like it is that, like, major issue. If, like, my old Joy-Cons, having never been used after a very short time period in someone else's hands, suddenly they're not good anymore, makes me wonder how long these ones are going to last. Because these are the white Joy-Cons, and you can only get them with the Switch OLED. They aren't sold on their own yet, I don't think.
Also, just bothers me so much that when you want to get, like, a different set of Joy-Cons, they only come in those two not matching colors. Like, I imagine for people with OCD, that might be really annoying. I don't know.
Yeah. Like,
sound off in the comments if you're one of those people.
I really want two green ones. Like, I feel like that shouldn't be too much to ask for. And there is a green one, but it goes along with Splatoon. So it's a green one and a purple one. But yeah, no, I want, like, two of the same color. And why isn't black available? The console itself is black. Why aren't there black Joy-Cons?
Yes. Specifically black and not that, like, charcoal gray. Because, like, I'm one of those people where if the shades of black are not matching, it's a little annoying.
What games have you been playing on the Switch lately?
Good question. Well, I downloaded Skyward Sword. Haven't played it, but it's there. It's ready for me.
It's available.
Yeah. And then, well, actually, I'm blanking on the company name, so I'll have to, like, put it in the edit and stuff. But I've been playing this, like, find it kind of mystery game where the voice acting is just, like, notoriously known for being terrible. But, like, the playability is fantastic because I, like, play it with my friend and he takes over when I, like, give up. It's great because he knows it in and out. Um, but there's basically just like a story that happens, and you like go into the world, and you like solve the puzzles, and you find the items, and then the item helps you progress in the story. And like the
Oh,
stories are fantastic. Like I feel like you
uh,
know the one. It's like a series of like multiple different stories. There's like a
yeah.
noir one. There's one where they're like in Tibet for some reason. There's one in like the forest. There's like a haunted house, but there's like an evil priest involved, and it's a little culty, and it goes off the deep end, and it's insane. I think every company has made at least one type of find it game, but this one, I've just been with this one because the voice acting is so bad. It's hard to take them seriously because sometimes the lines, it sounds like they just brought the actor in, didn't tell them anything about the script, had them read it, and was like, all right, we're going to use that in the final game. Goodbye. And then you pair that next to someone who's actually trying, and it's like, what is happening?
I love when they're like super phoned in and still paid more than we are. Like,
Right?
I don't know how the hell you're going to edit this together, but it was nice having you here. And yeah,
Yay!
everyone who watched, if you made it to the end, first of all, why? Let us know in the comments. Which one of us is cuter.
Yeah.
Like
Let
and
us know if we
subscribe.
both give you the bisexual panic. But
which
yeah,
which side
subscribe
of
to
the
get. I mean, it's called a Switch for a reason, eh?
Nutty.
But yeah, subscribe to Green Fruit Gaming. Subscribe to JanejiraDraws. Check out Fluid Strawberry at some point in the year. If I upload anything, I'll let somebody know. Yay! Cue like a cool outro here.
Yeah,
Yay!
zooming
And
in
then
and
cut
out
to
of
the
different things. Like,
cut to the cat outtakes. But yeah, we should probably record like a conclusion, and then I'll tell you how I don't know.
the cat moved. I spaced out for a second. People are going to choose Twitch.
Yeah.
It's just the bigger platform, isn't it, Dawn? Why do you crawl up on me if you're just going to attack me?
Cute. Ah, kitty cat break.
Another one. Dawn. Down. Not you, Soul. You're good.
So cute.
So,
He looks like you if you were a cat.
he does look like me if I was a cat.
You got matching hair. I love it.
I think she just wants to touch my face.
Aw, so cute.
She is a baby.
Yes. Aw, little kiss.
This is why I always scratches on my face.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.